Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, children of all ages, welcome back to another episode of Talkin Top Tier. I'm your host, always doing the most. They call me Tone the Boss. This week, I got a returning guest.
Hey.
I'm so excited to have him here. He's got some big news. A big album just dropped, #3. Ladies and gentlemen, make some noise for Mr. Anderson.
Woo. Made the hair on my arms stand up. That was amazing.
Thank you. I've been practicing a little bit. How you feeling today?
I'm feeling great.
How much sleep you got?
2 hours.
Oh, God. Is that what it is when you're dropping an album? Is it just prepare to not sleep and just work? And is it anxiety? What is it?
No, I mean, man, I just feel like as soon as the album dropped, I thought everything was going to be done and I could take a break. And that's when the real work starts with social media, which is
everyone's favorite tool of the decade, social media. So yeah, outside of social media, what other plans do you have to promote this project?
So I went through Snapchat. Well, I mean, basically it was mostly just social media, every possible avenue that I could find.
Okay.
And then I went through a couple of companies online to see if I could get onto some playlists and stuff like that. So.
Nice. Well, tell the people about the album. This is #3. And who you got on it. A couple of your favorite records. And don't forget, we're going to do a top 5 at the end of this episode, so be ready for that.
Oh, man.
But yeah, Shag Carpet. Why is it called that?
So after the previous album that I did, A Dark Alley in Cedar Rapids, where I kind of wanted to get a little dark. For this one, I kind of wanted to do a throwback and do a little bit of almost like R&B, soul, some live band stuff. And so that's where I kind of named it Shag Carpet, kind of throwing it back.
Okay. I'm going to try something here and see if it works. I typically don't do this, but this is a special occasion. It's an album release, and I'm honored to have you as a guest on the podcast to talk about it. Let's see if we can play a little bit of the album real quick. Can you hear that?
Yes, sir.
Mr. Anderson.
I don't like to pry, but baby, you caught my eye, and we both looking fly. Maybe later I can slide. Maybe you and me can share. Maybe we can share. Maybe we can share. Maybe we can share. Usually I don't like to brag.
Okay, let's talk about it. Let's talk about it. Thank you for allowing me to be on the intro track. That record is Shag Carpet. The song came after the album title.
Correct.
You told me what you wanted to call the album. I was like, okay, it needs a theme song. I was thinking Shag, so I had to get into my Austin Powers Andre 3000 bag. What'd you think of the record when I first came up with that?
So when we were working on that, obviously you could tell we wanted to really throw it back for the first song and do something fun. And like I said, I wanted to add some horns and do some more stuff with horns. And we were just messing around. And once again, you just kind of flipped it and did something that I wasn't expecting, and it worked.
Yeah. So for the people, let's kind of explain what the process is, who Mr. Anderson is, if they haven't tuned in for the previous episodes. What exactly do you do?
So I am a music producer, master, mix. Basically, I do everything except for, generally, I do everything except for the actual singing or rapping on the albums.
Sometimes I make him do that too.
He does. put me outside my comfort zone.
When he originally told me that he wanted to do the first album finally, which is that 2 years ago now? Is it 2 or 3?
3, probably.
That's crazy. When we first did the Finally album, you said you wanted to do a collaboration album, so I thought we were going to be rapping back and forth. But we got deep into it, so you got a few verses on Finally.
Yeah.
The second album, I kind of understood more that it's more you're on the producer side and you're going to bring people together and you're going to kind of give the direction of where each song is going to go. So that one, I don't think you have as many verses. And then on Shag Carpet, did I make you rap it all on this one?
Not on, well, Yeah, so I'm on I Holla Back and a little bit in some of the choruses, but not much you can hear. Just kind of filling in some places. So
Okay. And you decided on 7 songs. I know we recorded more than that. How did you decide on these 7?
well, everybody that knows me knows that I'll spend way too long on songs. So I finally said that I gotta cut this down. I gotta figure out what my 7 to 10 favorite songs are, and I wanted to try to keep it on theme, even though there is some rap in here. But I didn't want to throw like some of the rock songs and some other stuff on here, so it wouldn't fit. So.
Okay. So it's pretty diverse, it looks like. So we got Shag Carpet. That one, how would you describe that song?
I don't know. No, it's funny that you asked that because when I'm going through the distribution process, I'm trying to label some of these songs, and I think I said funk.
Yeah, I like that.
said.
I think it's a funk record.
Yeah.
It's not hip hop. It's not R&B. We brought funk back, baby. Let's
Yeah,
go.
that we did.
Okay, Take Me Back. Describe that record.
So Take Me Back was actually a song I'd been working on. It's actually one of the older songs. And what happened was,
Pick up the energy.
what happened was I basically found an old track and I was working on it, and I was working with another track and another artist. I have all these different verses all over the place, and I actually moved a verse that I'd used was on a different song onto this one, and I liked it better on this one. And I hit up W Got Bars, and I mean, he's amazing. He's gonna blow up anytime. He's already got 1 billion streams or something like that. And then
1 billion stream. What? W Got Bars. How'd you find them?
I think it was actually I was going through an independent playlist, I believe. I do that a lot, and I found him and listened to it, and I reached out to him. So
W Got Bars. Shout out to W Got Bars. Make sure you tag them. Yeah, Take Me Back is super dope. It's just original. I'm gonna play just a little bit of that too. So we're gonna give some samples of this project right now.
I'm talking about the good old days. Talking about the good old days, they dead and gone. I've been so far away, but none of it was quite like home. No, my mama told me those days they was crazy long. Oh, I'm talking about the good old days. We had nothing, but we had it all. Hey, yeah, let's take them way back.
Yeah, that's just got a good feel to it. It really just brings you back to like your old neighborhood, childhood. It's obviously the words are Take Me Back, but the words could have been anything. Just the melody and the beat, everything, the feel of the record takes you back. So I think you guys hit your goal on that. Talk to me about the other feature on there. Was it ZKMRZ?
Zach Morris.
It's a creative way to spell that.
Yeah. So he's a really talented guy from, I believe, Maine. And I reached out and I was working with him on actually like an 80s song.
Yeah.
And we just it wasn't getting to where we wanted it to. And then I thought I'm going to try sending him a different track. Yeah. And I talked to him about the throwback track, and this is what I sent him. I actually had 3 different verses on this from other people.
Wow.
But this is what I wanted to settle on. And then the video is where it really got big.
So talk to me about that. You recently got into video editing, which is not, to me, it's not fun, but I remember when I first started, I loved it. Like I would just get lost in cutting to the BPM, to certain bars and different scenes. Where are you at with your love of videography right now?
To be completely honest, you see a lot of the memes for producers and for just independent musicians where they wear every hat.
Yeah.
And that's what I had to learn how to do it. I'm obviously not a professional like a lot of the videographers, but I feel like it's really coming together.
These videos are top notch. They really are top tier videos. Like you're getting the right footage, but it's not just about the footage that you're using. It's really the cuts and how they relate to the record and how they create a feeling.
Right.
You're not just slapping together whatever footage AI generates.
Right.
It's legit about the song. Like in Roses, you've got a violin player, you got the dancer, you got a lot of different aspects to it, and even the sports stuff included. So I think you need to give yourself a little bit more credit.
I appreciate
with that. You're definitely doing your thing with
trying
those.
to tell a story.
Yeah, and you're doing a great job at that. One of my good buddies, Lyrical TMG out in Waterloo, he basically, it's almost like he uses his videos for like a vision board. So he will make a song that he sees that's fit for a movie, and he will literally put that song underneath a movie trailer. So I kind of challenge you to try something like that.
Yeah.
Even like your favorite sports movie, find the trailer and put roses underneath it or something like that. Or we got the one record from Dark Alley in Cedar Rapids. Yes, you.
Excuse me.
And I love how you put that in the background of the song, and like just tagging Netflix and the show. Like that's how people get recognized. So definitely keep what you're doing with that. Tell me about Dancing in the Streets.
Yeah. Before I do that, real quick, the video that we did for Take Me Back is actually a video from 1994 where I had a giant video recorder on my shoulder. And
Take the water.
thank you. Yeah. And I just got a lot of cool video from 1994 from homecoming and the last day of school and a bunch of stuff. And
So it's your actual footage?
yeah, that's my footage.
Did
you not know that?
No, and what's crazy is I did a gig at Sagwagon a couple months back, I think end of September, end of September, and I ran into a buddy of yours from high school, I think it was, and he was like, I'm not familiar with hip hop, but I do have a buddy that's doing huge things that I went to high school with. I haven't seen him in forever. He's like, Kelly. I was like, I don't know, Kelly who? And he's like, he goes by Mr. Anderson. I'm like, get out of here. Like, so I'm DJing for him. He has no idea that me and you are connected whatsoever. And
that was crazy.
Yeah, he still lives in like a small town in Iowa. Not only remembered you from high school, but kept up with you, has found the music, and like, you're the first artist that comes to mind when it comes to rap for him. So, again, kudos to you for that. And I hope you realize how big that is, that you're making an impact for your state. The people you grew up with are recognizing your hard work, and it really takes a lot to get there, and you've been consistent. So
I appreciate that.
Yeah. You remember the guy's name? I want to shout him out if you do.
Mr. Wagner.
Mr. Wagner. Shout out Mr. Wagner. Just showing up at Sagwagon and sparking a conversation, and it was super cool. Moments like that is like why I do it. Like it sometimes it's those reminders when you're like, man, is anybody paying attention? And then somebody comes out of the woodwork that
It really does
you haven't
feel like
seen
that.
in forever.
Yep.
And they're like, okay, I'm doing something. I'm making an impact, and people are watching. So yeah, Dancing in the Streets.
So, yeah, let's just play it first, and then I'll
Okay.
talk about it.
We're dancing in the street, romancing the air, can't get enough. We're dancing in the street, making love feel like a dream. Take my hand, I need a turn. Let's slide in the middle of the street. Throwing it back at me, my desire. You and me can't get enough.
Yep, sticking with the same theme, the horns, and trying to throw it back to that era. Dancing in the Streets. This is a song that I worked on some guitar, I worked on the horn, I worked on all this stuff, and then I wanted to get even a better sound of the guitar that I was wanting and the melodies. So I reached out to an old friend, Jacob Dean, who is now, he just made his first country album, and he killed that guitar for me. And he sent it back. And then I was working with the Crush Boys out of L.A., trying to get a feel-good throwback.
Yeah.
And that's kind of what we want to do, having fun in the streets.
I think it really fits the theme of Shag Carpet. This is another almost funk style of song. A little bit of auto-tune on there, a little bit different than what you're hearing today. And it just, again, it brings you back. Shag Carpet almost feels like that Back to the Future type of vibe.
Yeah.
Like we're
that's cool.
bringing the past
Right.
to the present,
Yep.
and we're giving you something different. It's not, the stuff that we're hearing on the radio, but it's real music. You know, a lot of times I'll come over and, you know, I'll be like, let's just do one verse. And you're like, that's a mixtape tone. I'm like, that's what today is, Kel. And you're like, I don't want to do music like that. Like, so you're bringing back, you know, the full songs, the production, and where we're going for a feel. You're not just slapping a bunch of people on one record together. And you even mentioned that on the other record. Like, you'll put some people on there, and if it doesn't fit, you know, you're going to make some adjustments and swap people out and maybe use it for another time. So I definitely respect that. Next record, Love on the Weekends. Talk about it before I play it.
Yeah. So, you and I had a conversation. I actually just talked to another band about this 2 nights ago. You and I had a conversation, and we were talking that night. And I'll never forget the conversation. And you said, "Who do we make this music for, us or for everybody else?" And that's a constant struggle, I think, for independent artists. You can go in, sit down, and listen to the last 10 songs that were on Billboard, and you can try to replicate them or do the, you know, same vibe or whatever it is. Yeah. But I really wanted to make sure that we were staying true to ourselves and that we're hoping that people are going to like the things that we actually like too.
All right. I'm going to play that, and then I actually am going to piggyback off the things you just said because I've got a new perspective I got to bring to you.
All right.
First, we're going to do
ready.
Love on the Weekend, which has a beautiful video, by the way, and this is Sophie Gainsley on this record.
Sophie Gainsley, the beautiful voice.
Produced by Mr. Anderson.
Mr. Anderson.
Whatever you did, can you do it some more now? Swear you've got me falling for you all the way. Whatever you gave, could I take some more now? Swear you had me craving you night and day. I don't wanna just see you on the weekends. You know I got feelings. Stick around for the change of seasons. Tell me that you feel this too. I don't wanna.
That record is like, it's like graceful. It's like elegant.
Yeah.
Like, it's just something I really just want to relax to. Like, I really just want to play that. Like, it's like take a breath in life and just relax and everything's going to be okay. That's how that record makes me feel.
Yeah. And to be,
Yeah, go
just to
ahead.
say, the funny thing is that was originally going to be Love on the Weekends as in a negative thing as far as the guy just wants to be with her on the weekends, but doesn't talk about her during the week. But we kind of turned that around a little bit because it was a little too, I don't know.
Yeah, it wasn't the
Critical.
the vibe of what you were going for
Right.
with the album. The irony of that is on Finally, you won Best Collaboration with Elizabeth Von Presley for the record Finally, and Crazy Bone. Glad he's doing better.
Yep.
But Elizabeth just won Best Collaboration with Tevin
Yep.
for a song called Spare Time, which is almost exactly
I didn't
the
realize
concept.
it was Spare Time. That's right.
Yeah, it's almost the same concept.
I forgot it was Spare Time. I thought it was
that you were thinking of going for on Love on the Weekends, and then you went somewhere completely different
Yep.
with it. So that's super cool. That's one of those records I definitely hope you submit for the Music Awards next year. Before we transition, and we got 3 more songs we'll get through. What did you think of the Music Awards this year?
I loved it. It's interesting coming from me and you talking about that at 3 a.m. in the morning. What a cool idea that'd be. And then to last year doing it. And last year's was at one of the most historical music places in Cedar Rapids. It used to be called Big Dogs.
Yeah, and then Third Street Live.
Third Street Live. I mean, yeah, it was Third Street Live. I'm sorry.
Yeah.
And almost everybody played there. And then to go from there to what you did down at Riverside Casino.
Yeah.
I mean, it was beautiful. Seating was great. Music was great. Everything sounded great. Everybody was happy and a lot of fun.
Yeah. It
Good
was
stuff.
so dope. And like, thanks for believing in it before it came to fruition. Like, I remember I used to have like parties and stuff, and I'd have the business plan laying out and people look at it, and I specifically remember some instances where they'd be like, hey, this isn't going to work, right? And I'm like, just watch. Like, I could break it down to you on why it will work, but I'm more of a let me show you better than I can tell you.
Absolutely.
And, a lot of people are like, take some time. You should be proud. And I'm like, I'm happy. I'm content with how it went. But I got to go bigger. I got to do better. I got to tidy some things up, and I've got to make this the biggest event Iowa has to offer. We got the proclamation giving us a dedicated day in Cedar Rapids. I need that to be for the whole state. And then I also just need to make sure that I'm recognizing everybody all over the state and keeping it as diverse as possible and, making sure everybody believes in it. So I had a few meetings last night. I don't want to spoil anything yet, but we're looking at a bigger venue, and we're looking at bringing it back home and doing something that's been another dream of mine. So yeah, we're gonna do some things with the IMAs. I definitely want to see some more submissions from you outside of just collaboration. You've got all these different productions and these different styles of music. You work really hard, so I want to make sure you're getting the acknowledgement and recognition that you deserve.
Appreciate that.
And then to come back to that conversation we had forever ago about who are we doing this music for. So my answer and definitely like for Finally and my Antonio album, those were projects that were just for us. I went to a music conference in Atlanta, and I believe it was Ray Daniels who broke it down, but he said, when you record the music and it's in the studio and you have it on your phone and it's just you listening, it's yours. It's just for you. When you release that music, it's not only for everybody, it belongs to everybody. It is now up for their interpretation. It is now up for them to receive it and for them to relate it to whatever moment in their life they're living in, whether it's sad, positive, fun, club. So I would say my next challenge for you, whether it's the next project or if you're 3 and done, is we've done what we can for us, but once we release it, let's make stuff for them. Let's make stuff for everybody to enjoy. Let's, whether you're doing it for a plaque or not, you deserve it. So why not? Okay, what they're doing is easy. So then let's do it. Let's do it better. Let's do it right. Let's do it our way. When we're making the music, it is ours. But again, once it's out to the world, it belongs to everybody. It's
Absolutely.
everybody's art. So let's expand on that. Let's own that. And let's capitalize because, we're doing our thing.
Yeah. No, I completely agree. It's once you create any type of art book, anything like that, you're basically giving the public a piece of you.
Yeah.
And as soon as you do that, they're free to judge it any way they want to.
Exactly.
And that's okay. And that's kind of where I'm coming from with that, is to make sure that we're making music that we believe in first, and then we move it out to everybody else instead of the other way around.
Well, we got 3 albums now, Kel. It's time to not be so selfish with your art.
Hey, I put a bunch out in the last couple months at least. Finally.
Yeah. And speaking of stuff that is for us and definitely from the heart, See You Again. That was a very tough record to write. Shout out Courtney B, though, who we FaceTime with the assist on that record. I'm going to play a little bit of it. I can't play too much. It's very emotional, but See You Again. I'm on it, and
Sophie
again, right?
Gainsley sings the chorus.
All right, let's play it.
This day on, I won't let go. Although you're gone, I know you're home. And through the pain, I know we will mend. In the end, I'll see you again.
In this world I'm lonely, I lost my one and only OG, the one that knows me better than my family and my homies. How could I move on when I know this?
I knew that wasn't going to go for very long. I knew it wasn't going to go for very long.
Yeah, man, you took me to a dark place to get that out, but
So I want to talk about that.
Okay, let's go.
This song started with, I was just thinking of some of the old music that I really liked, and the Crossroads remix by Bone Thugs and Harmony has always been something that really kind of caught me off guard and took me to another place, and I just loved the fact that you go on a journey with them telling the story and them showing homage to somebody that they love.
Yeah.
So when I was working on that one, I actually started playing some of the piano in that, and it just started coming together. And that's when you came over and we talked about it, and it was funny because when it's something like this, like a very powerful song, we went back and forth a few times, kind of helping each other, bouncing it back and forth, because it could be a very, very sad song, but I wanted it to be, I miss you, but I am going to see you again. So it kind of comes back around, and hopefully it ends in a positive place. But yeah, this song is very, very, very powerful. Lots of feelings in there.
Yeah, all the feelings, very deep, like I said. And it's funny because I feel like this is the second time you've made me travel to a real dark place while writing. The other time was the You record, where I wrote like 19 different verses, and you're like, go darker, go crazier. And I'm like, dude, I gotta write from this creeper's perspective. That's not a happy place that I travel. I don't know. I think maybe I think too much when I'm doing my music, but I just become a character every song. Like,
That's
even
what you should do.
even
yeah.
the stuff about myself, like the Antonio album was like all me. Like, that was probably the only authentic, just my actual feelings. Don't care how this sounds or is received. But like every other song, when I'm actually just in artist mode, I'm just that character for that record, and I want to capture that emotion and that perspective. So yeah, with that one, obviously I was not only myself, I had to channel myself in one of the worst times of my life, losing my grandma. And then like the whole "See You Again" concept that one's dark for sure.
Well, and that's when I first of all, I always know it's going to be a good track when I hear you scream from the vocal booth, "F you, Cal, for making me do this." But that's it. I mean, you can feel the pain in there, and like I said, I want you to also feel the fact that you're gonna see your loved ones again.
Yeah. Oh, I love that. That's 100% on the target right there. This next song, a little more fun, a little bit more up. And I think we go up for the rest of the album too, actually. So
Yeah, I finished with our 2 anthems at the end.
yeah, I like that. Finish on a high note.
This one has Silence on it also.
Yeah. Shout out to
Shout out
Silence.
Silence.
And we haven't, I don't think me and him released a record since our Tone Deaf collab project. So this is pretty dope that we got us 2 on there, and then got Kel to drop some bars at the end too.
Yeah, this actually has DJ Puzzle on it also.
Oh, okay. Shout out to
Y'all
DJ
hear they
Puzzle.
talk about our state, but don't mention us? Never that. Hey, Tone, Mr. Anderson, turn it up.
Holla back, holla back, holla back. 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 Give me something with some sauce on it. Put me on, I'll go off on it. Y'all know y'all can't rap, then not go and put the boss on it.
I like the little beat drop. That one, yeah, that's a bar heavy, almost like a cypher style record. Silence goes in, you got a verse. What made you feel that we needed that record?
So, a lot like you, I'm trying to do the same things. I'm trying to bring the Midwest together. I'm trying to get people together, especially in my position, since I'm not a singer. I need to keep finding the talent around here that I can work with and that we can work with, and bringing everybody together and helping each other out. And but I wanted to get some high octane music here at the end to finish off the album, since it did get kind of
Dark.
slow for a little while.
Yeah.
And then whenever I have you on a verse, I like to get somebody that will try to challenge you on the same album.
Ooh,
So
okay.
getting Silence on there as is a plus.
I think last time you had to bring Enes out of retirement. He's got quite the verse on Dark Alley. And then I like that you keep an Iowa song for sure. Last album we had the IOWA record. So I just always got to rep our state no matter what. So I like that we did that. And then go ahead.
And to be honest, I really want some interaction as far as when we're performing. I want to be able to say, hi, IA, and then we say Holla Back, and IA, and we say Holla Back, and you do it for the next song too. But trying to add some fun to live performances where we can all, kind of just perform together.
That's dope. I didn't even imagine that. I need to get you at my next show, which is November 18th, and we just need you behind the DJ booth. Just scratch, play a couple of records. That'll be fun.
That would be fun. I mean, I did that just the last time at your showcase. And
you did. You just popped out of nowhere just back there. I was like, okay, let's go.
You're like, hey, nice to see you. Get to work.
But yeah, I think that'll be dope. Holla Back. Yeah. I see it happening. I think that'll be pretty dope. So the last record on the album, I have been getting blown up about just out of nowhere. Like, when'd you drop this? I was like, I don't know. Kel just drops whatever he wants. So it's like, it was on the a couple people's release radar. It just came up. They're saying it's an anthem. They're saying it needs to be used for the Rose Bowl. I may or may not have some
Rose
connections. But yeah, this one, I just want to talk about it first before playing it because I think it's obvious of who like some of my influences were starting in music. One of the biggest, I mean, I'll name a couple of them, but like Ludacris, Nelly for sure. And I feel like you can hear that, and it's weird because I did I did Roses, and I remember you like I need something like Give Me My Roses. I'm like I can't do Give Me My Roses because it's I got Give Me My Ring. But then when I went to record it, I kind of went with that voice of Give Me My Ring. And you're like, how about you sing it?
And it sounded good. It sounded good both ways.
Yeah.
But I always like to push you to kind of try some new different things.
Yeah.
And I remember it like it was yesterday. I screamed and I yelled, "Hey!" Because when we record, I hit you fast. We go back and forth fast, and I said, "This one sing," and you're like, "What?" I'm like, "Sing," and I hit record.
And what's crazy is like when you do that, it just translates in my head, and I have no idea what I'm gonna do. I had no idea I was gonna go Nelly on it. I had no idea how singing it would even sound. But it's just music is just. It translates better than words to me. So you tell me do it this way and it just happens. I don't even know. Like, and it's like even my lyrics, like if you ask me to rap something right now, I can't remember nothing. But you put a mic in front of me and put me on stage and it just comes out.
Yep.
I don't know how, I don't know why, but it's yeah. So this one right here is Roses.
Mr. Anderson.
I need my roses. Y'all already know that I'm the coldest. In the conversation, I'm golden. I need my roses. Not bronze, silver, I'm golden. Show me competition, I expose them. I need my roses. I ain't letting down my coaches. No excuses, all focus. I need my roses. Started from the bottom, now I'm floating. I earned this, never been chosen. I need my roses. If you look
Yeah, we did that. And like I said, you didn't tell me to go Nelly on him or none of that.
That's what I wanted to be clear about. I didn't. You're not copying Nelly.
It just came out.
It's how it
like
came
that.
out, and we jumped on it because it sounded so great. And
Yeah.
shout out to Nelly.
Yeah, for sure. And maybe it's just a Midwest country grammar thing. I
Really?
don't know.
Yeah.
But that one,
Facts.
that one is definitely one of my favorites that we've done. And we've done a lot now. This is again album number 3 for you. And I'm on like more than half on each one of the albums. Thank you for that. So finally,
I try to get away from you, but you're too talented.
I just keep coming back.
No, man, it's like I look for people that are gonna fit and work in different, just different, unique abilities, and it just ends up being you a lot of the time.
I appreciate that. And we do something different. Like I'm looking at the Finally track list, and the record Finally dropped that. It's the Weekend, Put Me in the Ground, Midwest Hyphy, Get Out of My Head, Filthy, It's a Vibe. Like those, not two of those songs sound alike at all.
Do you remember
Come
Get
from the
Out of My
same
Head?
place. Yeah.
That was a rough one,
a
too.
tough one. Yeah, but we got her done.
Yep.
Looking at Dark Alley, Cedar Rapids. If you want to be a rock star, if you want to be a porn star, Midwest Monster, Iceberg, Put Me in the Ground, I'm the One Who Knocks, Wild Girl, Goonies, You. I didn't realize the ILWA record didn't make it on here.
Yeah,
but you
that's
still,
a single.
it's a single, yeah. But you still use Midwest Monster. So again, we're always repping.
Yep. Oh yeah.
Oh man, that
always
says You Part 1. We got to do a Part 2 to that.
So did I tell you what I wanted to do? I think I did. So a good friend of mine, Devmo, shout out Devmo.
Hey, shout out Dev.
I wanted to do a part 2 from the female's perspective, because for anybody that doesn't know, You is a TV show on Netflix about a stalker who loves a girl, but he's actually he's crazy, but she doesn't know it, and they're on like season 3 or 4, and so this is a story about the character. Stalking her, and it's been kind of cool to hear the other side of it. So we'll see what we do, but we're definitely doing a part 2.
And then Haunted is a single as well. It did not make the
Haunted was supposed to be on the album.
But
Oh, you don't remember why it's not on the album?
this is for them. This is for them. I know the answer. We're talking to the audience.
No, I'm teasing.
I don't know the answer. You do know you can double release stuff, right?
Yeah, I know.
Okay, tell me why Haunted's
So
not
the
on
album, so Haunted is not on the album because I needed a retake on part of the song, and we didn't get it done in time.
What? We did get it done. I came by. I did it more laid back.
Do you remember your text messages where you responded for? No, I'm just kidding. No, it's all good. So what happened with that track is it was going to be on the album, and then there's just some changes I wanted to make, and I had to get the album out 2 weeks.
Yeah.
You have to get it out 2 weeks early, so you
Okay.
can get.
I
So
respect
that
that.
came out after that, and I wish it would have made it on the album, but I love it anyway.
I'm gonna play it. It's a bonus record after you listen to Shag Carpet, and you will need more because it's only 7 records, right?
Yep.
Here goes record 8 for you.
Oh God, that sounds good.
I played it on Halloween. It was my treat. And then I tricked people telling them that this is the same guy that is on Doja.
Kill the kitty, it's a ghost. Beat it up like a boss. Always gotta do the most. Fresh new grill, cause I floss. I see it, I want it, I get it, I flaunt it, I feel it, I floss it, I kill it. It's haunted.
I gotta play a little bit of his verse.
Yeah.
She's saying that she got demons. Bodies that a man don't know.
Don't know.
Saying that my drip be freezing. Babe, can you handle snow?
Hey. Yeah, I was telling everybody, how can I be homophobic? My beach is gay. So that's UK drill rap, right?
Yeah. Yes, that's where that started. Yeah. And
Okay.
That's Charlie J. And
Shout out to Charlie J.
He's just amazing. So for Charlie J, I actually one of my favorite YouTube producers is
The guy you showed me that does the
Yeah.
contest. Oh my God. And he finds
something
everybody.
Beats, Zach Beats.
Oh, he is so dope.
Anyway, and he does a lot of great stuff, and he'll put out a beat, and he'll get like 25 people to be on it, and then he'll do it live, and they'll rate it and stuff, and he did one with Charlie J that's on this one. That's why when I saw it, so I hit him up and I said, hey man, I'd really like to put you on a cross between a drill song and almost an ethereal, floating in space type of song, and then when you and I talked, it turned into I don't want to call it a Halloween song, but kind of a creepy Halloween song.
It was called Haunted before I heard it. So you got the song called Haunted. It had a hook?
Yeah, it was haunted, but it was complete. It was a girl.
Way different. Yeah. And I was like, dude, this gives me Michael Myers creepy vibes. Halloween's in like 4 days. I'm sure you don't want to change this record, but I think I could come up with something real quick. And you weren't even feeling the at first. And I was like, dude,
I wasn't. But especially with you, I've been trying to be more open-minded and listen to stuff a little bit more. And this was another one of those tracks with the callback that I wanted to do.
Yeah. Oh, we can get a crowd doing that.
Right.
And that was my thing too. Obviously, it's not the most complex lyrics, but it's something that's been ingrained in our heads for 30 years at least. Like, we know that sound, we know that's creepy. And like I said, it was called Haunted, and you know, I felt like he needed a hook that complemented that style of rap. And yeah, man, that's one of my favorites, but it does not make my top 5 Mr. Anderson records. Do you have 5?
Do I have 5 that
favorite? And I kind of want them in order.
Okay.
So if that's going to take you a second, I'll give you mine in order.
You go first. I've had it pulled up just for you to do this to me, so I've been trying to prepare.
Okay, because normally the way I do it is we start at number 5, and then we go back and forth on why, and then we work our way up. You want me to just give you my 5, and then you give your 5?
Sure. Yeah, let's do that.
Okay, here we go. Changing it up. Top 5. My number 5 record.
Wait, can we get
from
some
Mr.
clapping
Anderson
and cheering or something?
Hey! Woo! I'm supposed to have a button on here for top 5 because I do this every episode. So, but my number 5 is a record called The Weeknd.
Yeah, I could name your top 5.
Oh, I'm sure you can.
The
Weeknd.
dope.
Shout out to Nicki H. That record is always going to be one of my favorites. I still think it needs a music video shot by the Young Creatives. Shout out to those guys. I got treatment ready. When you're ready, I got the treatment ready. I think Nicki's about to pop out a baby. So after that, maybe we get her in this video and we have fun with it and kind of showcase who we are and just make something playful that people will remember. But yeah, The Weeknd, just the way the song came together and how the finished product came out. That's a real fun record for us.
The lyrics your lyrics on there are awesome.
Yep. My number 4 is going to throw you off because I know you don't have this in my list of what you think I would pick. Mm-hmm. It's actually an unreleased Mr. Anderson song.
What?
The very first song we recorded, Listen Stupid, which was a lot of fun. Okay. I channeled some Will Smith on there. I do some fast rap. I wrote like 900 bars and dropped 5 different verses, and you never released it. But that's still one of my favorites for sentimental value and lyrics.
So that was the first song that we worked on together. Mm-hmm. Tone came over with a notebook, and he showed me like 3 pages of writing, and I said, how many? We're only doing one song, and you said this is all gonna fit in there. And since then, we've gone back to it, trying to record it and everything. And we had to put you in IVs, and we've had to give you like the record.
I done had kids and lost wives, and we've been through a lot with that record. Yeah. Still not there yet.
And
we'll get there someday.
Never forget the time I stopped the recording. I looked at you, and you're like. What? And I said, Tone, you're never going to be able to perform this live. What are you going to do? But it'll come out. It's just insane what you did on that track.
I think we started that one in like 2019, 2018, maybe.
Something like that.
It was pretty early when we started that. But I know I was like not doing music. And you're like, hey, I made a beat. And this was after you heard no, it might have been earlier than that, because I dropped the Boss Life album in 2011.
Yeah, it was after that. It was after you introduced
me.
Me.
You had heard it, and then you had made the beat. And you're like, can you do something to this? So, yeah. So that one's been in the vault forever. Hopefully someday it sees the day of light.
I mean, you can hear him. You can hear him in your headphones turning pages. He's got just pages of lyrics.
Many lyrics.
So many lyrics. So awesome.
All right, my number 3 record.
You're making me nervous.
Is Roses.
Okay.
I think that one, so I'm working on this for the music awards too, but I really feel like that record defines you as a producer. We're in talks of switching the term producer to just beat maker, because in the hip hop world, a lot of people refer to their producer as beat maker, and a lot of the submissions we get are people that make beats. But a producer could be the person that brings people together, that does the arrangements, that tells you, why don't you sing it? That you're producing right there. And the fact that you had me sing it, and I had no idea what tones I was gonna use, how this even sounds sang, and like didn't even make sense to me, but I just did it. And after hearing the record, it makes so much sense. And that was the right way to do that record. The only way that it should have came out. And that's only because you threw in that, all right, sing it. What? So, and then like just how good the record is, that's my number 3. My number 2 record, I feel like you should know. I know you'll know my number 1, but number 2 is Iceberg. That record is just, you hear it, the villain is walking dead. I feel like in real life, they're walking dead. They follow with zombies what's in your head. Like, yeah. The getting to do Kanye's 4 in the Morning style, which is one of my favorite records by him. So getting to do a style that kind of pays homage to that, and then just use that tone, and then the beat's just so hard, and it reminds me of the bad guys, literally the stormtroopers walking around. So yeah, number 2 of my top 5 Mr. Anderson records is Iceberg. And what's my number 1, Kel?
Finally.
Of course. That record was the real start of everything. Yep. You just scrolling past some beats and tried to even skip that one. Like, oops, didn't mean to play that. And me saying, hold on, what's that? Shout out again to Nikki for doing a reference record. Big shout outs to AVP for even hopping on it. At the time, didn't know her at all, just knew of her. So her hopping on that record, and then you getting Crazy Bone is just nuts. Like when you told me you're putting him on there, I'm like, oh, that's already done. Why are you adding him to that record? And then he did his thing, and it's like just the perfect record. And then winning the votes from an Academy, like I can't vote for anybody on the music awards, but definitely not a song that I'm on. For them to listen to all the different submissions and they pick that one as the best collaboration, and now AVP is a 2-time best collaboration winner. Yep. So go ahead and pay that woman for a feature. But yeah, I think that one it just means a lot for the whole album. Every time we take a drink, we cheers and say finally, and so that is my top 5.
That's tough to beat. If I would have known you were pulling out unreleased stuff, then I mean, I might have to put.
What you got?
I'd have to probably put the one in there where you, where I told you to freestyle over a beat at 3 a.m. in the morning.
Oh God! Yeah, please never let that see the light of day.
No, I'm kidding. It was good. Let's see, 5. I would say. It's going to be tough not to pick off the new album now since I've been working on it for so long.
Why wouldn't you pick off the new album?
Okay, so I think Drop That, actually.
Hey, drop that motherfucking beat.
Mostly because, I mean, I just love the album, but also the fact that T-Pain listened to it and screamed over the top of it at the beginning. Don't F this up. Don't F this up. And then
I don't think we did. We did not F that up.
Yeah.
Thank you, T-Pain.
Yeah. I actually am really feeling Haunted right now. I like how it.
That's
how
number
it
4
moves
for
in
you?
Space. Yeah.
That's awesome.
And then let's see. Man, I like a lot of these. What am I on, 3?
Yeah.
So I might say, let's go with Roses.
Okay. All right. We got Drop That.
Yeah.
We got Haunted. We got Roses. What's your favorite thing about Roses?
The tone in your voice and the fun.
You keep pulling something different out of me, which is really crazy because I've been doing this for 20 years. I have over 1,000 songs recorded, but every time I'm at your house and we're vibing and coming up with something, you don't get the same tone. And like, I'm not recycling lyrics. Like, I don't know how I still keep coming up with different metaphors, and then just different voices, different styles, and it's a challenge. So have fun with it. But yeah. That's a cool 3. What's the top 2?
Top 2 is You.
Really?
You is actually, I think, my wife's favorite of all. Well,
What?
after Finally, probably.
Okay.
But you is just everybody. It's just the story is just so neat, and then when you pair that with the video, it's just such a cool story.
Yeah.
I probably would go 6. I have to do another one off this album. I think I'd have to say.
Well, this is supposed to be your number one. Was this not in order?
This was in order, but
Okay.
but I have to add
Your
one.
number one record.
Okay, fine. It's Finally.
It's got to be Finally.
Yep.
But you can do your honorable mention.
I think Take Me Back.
Really?
I think it's
It is
just
really. It's just a really humble record.
Yeah.
It just feels good.
For that song, when I reached out to those guys and we were talking about it, and I was telling the themes and what I was looking for,
Yeah.
and I just kept saying, sun coming down, street lights coming on, kids playing in the street, people outside barbecuing, kickball, just like the back when times were less difficult, stressful, I guess.
Absolutely. All right. So one thing I want to do before we close out is I want to go through the 3 albums, and I want you to talk about how each album's supposed to make you feel and why, but keep it brief. Finally. Why does that album exist, and how should it make you feel?
Finally it exists because of the fact that I've been in music my entire life and had a lot of stuff I wanted to get out after being in some bands and DJing and producing, and I wanted to get something out. And we had some losses, and I lost my dad. And I wanted to shout out to him and to other people that we lost, and I just wanted to say I had been blocked for so long, and then we started working together, and I finally broke the block, and we were able to release this album. So.
Okay. Dark Alley and Cedar Rapids. Is that album an upgrade? Is it a good pairing to Finally? And then why?
I think they're polar opposites.
Okay.
Well, almost. Finally is kind of a, I mean, it's got rock songs on it, and it's got sad songs on it, and it's got some hip hop songs on it. But a Dark Alley and Cedar Rapids is almost kind of like separating, like just almost a different style or a different sound, I would say. Okay. Just kind of that grimy, nighttime alley type of grunge, I guess.
Okay. And then finally, the newest album just dropped today. Crazy features on it. Shag Carpet. Why?
Do you remember? Do you remember your grandma's house? Do you remember the carpet?
Of course.
Do you remember those old lamps and the radio at the clothes hanger?
100%.
I mean, that was this whole thing. It just came to me. I want to do some throwbacks, some fun stuff back to some old times, and just where you had rotary phones and you'd have to yell at your parents to get off the phone while you're talking to your girlfriend. And
speaking of Rotary, shout out to Rotary Club. I was there this morning. I've been up since 5. Yeah. I went to bed at like 2 or 3 and got up at 5. And then you're off 2 hours. So if the energy seems a little laggy today, you might have heard me say, "Hey, pick up the energy. Just
I'm
fake
good now."
it.
He's right.
It's been a long 24 hours for the both of us because we're just working, man.
That's all right.
And I
you're
know
not working
like.
if you love it.
There you go. That's it. That's the one. You're not working if you love it. We love what we do. We're gonna keep doing it. What's next for Mr. Anderson?
So, I think we're gonna put out a small 4 or 5 track album of actually rock songs.
Ooh.
I think there's a band
EP.
Yep. There's a band in Iowa City called Van Hayden.
Ooh.
That they're starting to go viral. That I think I'm going to work with a little bit, and then
send these bands to me. Send that band. Send that country artist, the guy that just dropped a
Jacob
country
Dean.
album. Yeah, like make sure they're aware of the music awards because that's my big thing. Is like I want this to give back to all of Iowa and give us not only we want to set a bar, but we also want the recognition and we want a network. And everybody should know everybody and shake hands, and you can introduce everybody to your people, and then we just all collaborate and make bigger things happen.
Absolutely.
So, yeah. Ladies and gentlemen, give it up for Mr. Anderson. Woo! Where can they find you?
You can find me at the number 1 Anderson.com. Has everything there.
Instagram at Mr. Anderson LS.
You just got to go to oneanderson.com and it pulls everything up.
It's like a link tree.
Yes, it is.
Smart move. All right, guys. Shag Carpet out now. All platforms, Apple Music, Spotify, Google. Play it, repeat it, love it, learn it. Let's go.
Woo.
Finally, baby. Hey.